Yeah, we're okay. We'll be.
Yeah, he's there's like 6 minutes
All right. Well, you don't have to worry about it. You're going to help. Can you help with? We'll talk. I might need your help with you. Oh, okay. All right. Yep. Thanks, bud. You're good. I am. You lost a tight one, but two young boys saw it. There was a tape foul, and they didn't call it because they were trying to get more.
You're doing, are you?
I'm going to do it before. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to do the same thing. But
you have the Royals roster or no?
Amy's filling it out right now.
And who's going to do it?
Great, Sylvia.
Okay, he's still going to do it. Okay, cool.
You know me. Rolling this year. You know me, I'm on. So you know what? We made. Let's go. I'm sorry, I didn't get to talk to you guys, but I got to.
Hey, you guys, I'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah, good job.
That won't happen again. Don't worry about it.
It will happen again, but as long as it happens less than it happens the other way.
It won't happen again. I promise you.
Okay. All right. We'll go here. Oh, yeah.
You did all that. Hey, boss. How's it going? Good luck out there.
Whatever you need. I gotta test the sound real quick.
That's it.
Testing.
Kelly, you seen that, Mike? Beautiful. That looks like the mine I put there. You got the Royals on it?
Testing. Testing. Who wants to sing the national anthem? You got it, Naz. Go ahead.
Oh, what? I've never seen a 3-foot cord on a microphone. I get it's my first day, but this is serious baby steps here. Yes, this is better.
Testing. Testing. Testing, testing.
Testing hamburgers, applesauce, French fries. We love them. And concourse, section 107, hot apple pie. Who's that crew up there?
Mark, are we doing national anthem or no?
Let's do it.
You want to sing it?
I got it. Let's go. Oh, let's go.
You want to do that before the starting? Before the starting?
No, get the stars out.
Okay. Are you ready now?
Now, go. Let's go. We gotta go.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Silver Spurs Arena. Let's get ready for our regular season opener of FBA action. Let's introduce our starters for today's game. First, the visitors from Polk County. Let's introduce our 5 starters from the Royals today. Wearing number 0, Joe Stubbs. Wearing number 12, Timothy Bo Flex Williams. Wearing number 20, Tyrese Seals. Number 42, Isaiah Moody. And number 88, Cyrus Barnes. Now let's introduce the home team for today's game, the Volusia Serpents. Our starters today, wearing number 4, Antonio Jackson. Wearing number 11, Markel Williams. Number 13, Jamarcus Mickle. Number 22, Enrique Bush Jr. And number 24, Roberto Suarez. Foul called on number 12, Timothy Williams. Foul called on number 42, Isaiah Meany.
Folks, sorry for the technical difficulties on this St. Patrick's Day weekend. You're tuning in right now to a great game, the beginning of the FBA. We've got the Serpents versus the Royals. We're a little into the game right now. So, Mark, can you share with us a little introduction of who you and I are?
Well, first of all, let's introduce you, Pat. Really proud and privileged to have you here. Ladies and gentlemen, Pat Burke, retired NBA player, overseas phenom, Mr. Spain, a little bit of Ireland, a little bit of everything, right?
I think you're being a little kind there, but yeah, great company with the players that are here today. Excited to see how the beginning of the season takes off. I've had a little opportunity to talk to some of the coaches and meet a little bit of the culture and the energy in the air tonight. It's really good.
Yeah, well, we're excited to kick off. This is the first regular season game this year for the 2024 season, Florida Basketball Association, and very excited to be in world-class venues right now. We're here at the Silver Spurs Arena, home of the Osceola Magic, Orlando Magic's G League affiliates. And we'll be back here tomorrow with another game between the Crocs and the Storm, Claremont Crocs, Winter Park Storm. And we will have another game at Kia, the Kia Center. You know a little bit about that place, Pat, I'm sure. Did you actually play at the Kia Center?
I did not. I did not. I played in the
Waterhouse?
old arena. Yeah, the one that can actually fit inside of the big one.
Well, that's
Mark, as a newcomer and a good friend, you told me a lot about this FBA league, and here we are at the beginning of it. Bring us in with our audience here. a little introduction to these two teams, maybe a little history, and let's start talking about it.
Sure. Well, the Lakeland Royals, now the Polk County Royals, came in 2 years ago as an expansion team and actually pulled off the win, won the championship in their first season, and matched up today against the Volusia County Serpents, the runner-up last year in the finals against the last year's champion Kissimmee Lambs. But we kicked off the season with a good one. Two good teams, a lot of talent, as you know, here in Central Florida. The Volusia County Serpents boast Roberto Suarez, number 24, last year's MVP. And, obviously a very talented roster for the Polk County Royals, but some new faces. But we're ultimately super pleased and happy with what we've got and how we've been able to continue to grow, continue to execute, excel, bring the league to a place where it is today. I'm going to get a quick score check here. Quick score check here. We got 7-6. Royals down by 1. I'll tell you, Pat, and you'll get to see it, and we're privileged to have you here, and you think you're going to see some interesting things here in minor league basketball. It's a labor of love. There's a lot of energy and sweat equity that goes into it. Things are rarely perfect, but ultimately, we are very proud to know that we have created a place and a space that's respectful, an opportunity for players to continue playing, because as you know, after college, you don't get to the NBA. There are very limited spots to continue playing basketball at a high level.
One of the things I'm recognizing, and I think it goes along with what you're saying, Mark, is of course things aren't perfect, but in the very beginning as they're coming together, you can see that there is a general consensus that everybody is understanding. You know, if there's a referee that shows up late or things, people are still trying to pitch in like team. And so anyways, with that, I parallel that and just say, like, these two teams that are out here today, the Serpents and the Royals, I'm just starting to watch as they're putting together their best effort with team. And it can be complex at first. There could be some off passes. Like right now, there's some great defense going on by the Royals, and you see this energy coming, and that's something that, of course, as certain things start to escalate and get higher, they want to give that consistently.
Absolutely, and they're very hungry, and a lot of these guys have an incredible passion for the game, and you're going to see, and one of the things we're probably most proud of is our players. We have some exceptional players here that are really get it done. They really play hard. They know that this could lead to other things. Over 1 million views over the last couple of years on our YouTube channel, as we have a few people following now. But exceptional opportunity here. But mistakes abound.
It's okay. I mean, I just watched, Coach Darius Howard for the Royals. Had an opportunity to talk to him before the game. He's energetic, and he seems like he has a grasp on what they want to execute today. And a lot of it is making sure that the Serpents don't have the opportunity to get the ball inside. He shared with me that he loves what's happening at Houston University with the way that college program creates defensive pressure on the ball with his guards, and that's something that he's asking of his guys today. So I'm going to be curious to see how the Royals are able to execute that.
Big shot. Cyrus Barnes, this is, I believe, his 3rd year in the league. He's been here 3 years, a staple player for the Lakeland Polk County Royals, but very athletic, good shooter, has played some overseas as well, but takes good advantage of this opportunity, stay in shape until his next opportunity comes. Good bucket by Mr. Moody over there. And you see, that's a strong finish, Pat.
Yeah, Coach Jean Pierre of the Serpents there calling a timeout. One of the things I recognized here is the Royals have a knack for drawing contact, but I don't know if it's their calling card. They've been doing this early. But the Serpents, you can see, are drawing contact a lot of times. Now, they're not finishing on everything, and maybe that's something that Coach Jean Pierre is looking to talk to them about. But it's exciting to see that there's going to be some adjustments here, and as we come out of this timeout, we'll see what happens.
Definitely. Tight game. It looks like it's 7-10. Serpents down by 3. And, that's the other thing, Pat, that as a league, we want to pay attention to not just the players and having quality players, but actually having good coaching, good development, and respectful platform for players to not only play their best and stay in shape, but learn the game properly. Just home and away. You can see it up and down. Guests are Lakeland. Home is Serpents. And Pat, how many times did you hear that as a player? Get on the floor, man. It's 50-50 balls. It's not for everybody.
It's not for everybody, but you realize that if you do start to do it, you stay on the floor more because the coach can count on you as somebody who does get a scab on your elbow, bumps on your knees, and you get down there in the grit. Or you can be sitting there like a toy in a package sitting on the bench.
The dirty work, the dirty work, the dirty work.
Number 21, James Lindsay Jr. checked in for the Volusia Serpents.
I'd say Darius Howard, the coach of the Royals, is happy with that execution right there. That's one of those emphasis he had, is when the ball gets into the lane, he wanted to make sure that they had limited touches, and they did a great job of getting it out of there. I mean, it's still going to be in danger zone here with the baseline out of bounds play, but they're making a concealed effort here to say, look, we're not going to allow you to take it easy here in the post.
Yeah, and good rotation. Something that killed my young guys at the junior FBA game. As big as this court is, we still found a way to get a foot on the line.
Yeah. Oh, I love it. You know, many times you're playing in leagues where the referees don't want to talk to the players and educate them, and there's a little moment there where one of our refs just shared what they had experienced themselves.
Wow.
Can we say bang, bang? Can we say bang, bang?
Bang!
Guess what? FBA started.
Good finish.
Uh-oh.
Another scary.
Uh-oh.
See the transition.
Uh-oh. Got 2 orders of bang, bang in there.
Bang, bang chicken, bang, bang shrimp.
Let's see how the Serpents are going to respond to this. Oh, wow.
Foul called on number 0, Joe Stubbs.
I think one of the things you're going to see outside of just the technical skills of a point guard is their calling card when pressure starts going up. Do they have the ability to control the tempo and control their emotions? Right there, you see the Serpents. They're lucky they drew a foul, but they're drawing in. They're driving and attacking the basket with 3-4 players in the lane. So this time in their favor. But let's see when we come out of this if Coach Darius Howard and those Royals still have that energy going after those 2 orders of bang bang.
It is early, and one of the things that these guys learn very quickly, especially as their rookie year, is it's a 12-minute quarters, 48-minute game, a lot of energy, a lot to deal with. You go from college to the pro level.
Sorry to interrupt you there. We almost had a third. Mike is number 0 for the Royals, Joe Stubbs, very animated, communicating the history of this team and the Serpents and how he feels about it.
Yeah.
I'm just glad we didn't pick it up totally on the mics.
That we would have had to talk to FCC, I guess.
Yeah. Hey, but that's basketball. That's basketball.
It is. It does happen. It does happen.
What is the current fine for any type of disorderly conduct or communication?
That's a great question, and we may, if this continues, we may have to find that
We have
out.
to show up tomorrow. We got to bring hamburgers for everybody.
Hamburgers for everybody. I love it. Oh. We got 3 minutes, 58 seconds to go in the first quarter. Scoreboard is Serpents 10, Lakeland Polk Royals, Lord, forgive me, 14. I have got to get that right. They're not going to be too happy I keep calling them Lakeland. Although I don't think they have a problem with Lakeland, but they did want to embrace the whole county, which I think was a great idea for Amy Rhodes and her father Dale, the 2 owners.
The energy's still going. It's just the way it happens in basketball sometimes.
Got
There we
him
go.
boxed
Good
out.
finish. Serpents have been good with their knocking down their free throws and getting to the basket. But there's a level or energy right now with the Royals. You can feel that they're ready to get it going.
Well, and Pat, as somebody that's obviously was around last year, Polk County didn't really finish where they wanted to. Felt like they left a lot on the table last year. Lost in the playoffs in the first round. And obviously Volusia going the distance and losing in the third game, game 3 of the championship. They came, as you can see, with something to prove. Want to make this a statement game and let the runner-ups know that, hey, it's a new season.
Cyrus Barnes at the line shooting 1 free throw. Free throw is good. Number 4, Antonio Jackson checks in for the Serpents. Number 11, Markel Williams checks in for the Serpents.
Bang, bang, bang. That's 3. Oh.
Table for 1, serving up. The momentum is definitely on the Royals' side right now. But again, as the Serpents aren't collapsing it, this is still a close game. We're still in a position where both teams are feeling each other out. But I would say right now it just feels like the upper hand with the Royals is they're trying to create some sort of mental, emotional, sports psychology of, hey, we're the aggressor, we're the chaser.
And sometimes we have a love-hate relationship.
Coach Howard asking some questions there, just checking in with the referees, making sure that there's a complete understanding of the rule on crossing half court and what the time is. If you're hearing energetic chatter, Joe Stubbs is back from the Royals right in front of us. This guy's he's a glue guy. You can tell that he's probably one of their locker room guys that gets people going.
He's definitely a prime player for the Royals. Had a great season last year, and I believe it was his first year last year. Really a fun guy to watch. A lot of energy.
Yeah.
One of those accountability guys. You know, hey, we're going to play a certain way, and if you're not, he's going to let you know.
Mark, I think I was an energy guy when I played. Fortunate enough to play in the NBA and overseas for some pretty big clubs. But I tell you this, when it was my time to come out of a game, I don't know if I had that walking pace energy that couldn't get you to sit down. I immediately sat down, rested my dogs, got my water. But I tell you what, Joe Stubbs is still out here. He could have a future in coaching later on.
I like it. I like it.
Well, Mark, there's no shortage of exercising the whistle at this day today. We are at the beginning of the St. Patrick's Day weekend. I didn't know if you knew that. I recognize that you have no green on.
Oh, my. Well, but I have green in my pocket.
Okay. All right, St. Patrick.
Does this count?
St. Patrick would love that.
Yeah, I know he would. Does it count? I don't know. Of course, I'm going to give it away in a little bit. You know, the people doing their job, working this game.
So you as a founder, coach, an owner of a team, when you go into a weekend like this, you know, with a Friday, Saturday, Sunday, what are some of the goals? And again, I understand that there is a wave of athletes and rosters that you can have. When you know, probably in the past you've had moments where you had really special teams for different areas. But here's the beginning of the season. What is the goal for a coach coming in here for 3 games in a row?
You know, for 3 games in a row, well, fortunately, nobody's playing all 3. And this year, although we played a game earlier, it was our junior FBA team. Our big dance for the Florida Flight is the Kia Center on Sunday. But the Serpents had a Vipers game before their junior team and went right into this. So, you know, it takes a lot of energy, and you have a lot of people to manage. And, you know, we don't make $100,000 salaries or whatever. So the guys, you're navigating work schedules. You're navigating a lot of blue-collar stuff. For me, I have a love-hate relationship with it, to be honest with you, Pat. I think, you know, doing something of this magnitude, and here we are in the Silver Spurs Arena, a very world-class venue. It's not easy to coordinate and get all these things to work, but so it's extremely tiresome, and it's hard. You got to be high-functioning, but I will tell you, as I'm watching the game, I'm looking at what's happening, the energy, the great play, the education opportunities. It's a labor of love, but it's definitely a lot of love here.
There's that momentum.
Yeah.
I apologize to any of our viewers of not having said a whole lot about Coach John Pierre, but we are right in front of the Royals bench, and one of the things I do see is Coach Howard really has his troops going. And when they just called in that defense, and they took care of the assignment,
Yeah.
he was one of the first guys to do the fist pump and get him going. So you love to see that. And again, it's not just something that takes place in minor league or professional league. It's just the game of basketball. Is when the coach can show his passion just as much. And going back to what we were sharing, it's great to see. This is where they start to form the glue that says this is why we do this.
Yeah, and the thing is, it's often thought about with the players. All right, who's the players? What are they doing? Are they getting opportunities? But this is an opportunity for players. This is an opportunity for coaches. It's an opportunity for referees. A lot of people don't know. One of our most proud alumni, Mr. Ben Taylor, actually a full-time NBA ref now. I remember Ben and I going back at it back and forth in 2011. in the WBA and in the first year of the FBA. And it's really cool to see him on film in the big dance refereeing and officiating NBA games now. But
So I love that. I love the idea that what's built here with the FBA is a platform of sorts where everybody who's participating on that platform has the opportunity to take that to another level. And if this is the one in which they want to stay and maintain, they can do that. But there are people watching. And it's not just what's happening, of course, with the sport of basketball. It can be with the marketing sides of things. It can be, of course, with the broadcasting, what we're doing here.
absolutely.
And to have that is a great way to allow people to venture into these things. So it's a feel good. One of the other things, and not to get too long-winded on this, but speaking with the owner of the Royals, Amy Rhodes, I was really pleasantly surprised to hear how much community involvement is going on with the Royals, because the origin story and her not just being just one of the first female owners of a basketball team here in the FBA, but her as a leader, a beacon inside of a community that says, let's do something just like what you've done. Let's create something where we can help these kids and send messages. And again, as the players, they also get to exercise that role of leadership and working with the kids. It's pretty cool.
Sure, and that's a space that minor league basketball or minor league sports in general can thrive, because they, there's so much that you can do with the platform. There's so many people watching. We have fans that probably can't come to every Magic game because they don't have $20, $30, $40, $50 a ticket, let alone that's just one ticket bringing the family. But it's an affordable product. The kids watch. Social media has been a huge thing for all sports, as everybody knows, but tons of followers following even guys like Brandon Moss, who's now playing in Taiwan, I think, with Dwight Howard over there, being in Ball's Life, Grant Gullett, working out with the Knicks and the Heat a couple years ago. They follow them. They're accessible. The kids can look up to them, and if they're going to do a clinic, the kids are going to show up because they know they can learn something.
Well, let me ask you this, and this is not just on the funny side of things, but as a trailblazer, as an entrepreneur, as the founder, of course you've probably laughed and snickered at that movie Semi-Pro with the idea of marketing and appealing. But your appeal is to say let's create an affordable ticket that has fair market value for some people to come out here and support it. But have you done other ideas that the 100-point free taco night or anything like that, any of those type of things that have created some people to go, what is going on over there?
Well, I'll tell you, we actually love that movie. By the way, I think I'm another rendition of.
I hate to interrupt you right now. Well, there is the game going on, and it looks like it's being actually stopped for some technicals.
It looks like
To our listeners, I'm sorry we don't have any information right now, but the gym, the arena is abuzz right now with everybody kind of curious of what's going on and sharing their perspective on what's occurred. We're looking for some sort of information here. Let's look in here with where Coach Darius Howard is.
I'm not sure, but I think I heard a flopping call. I'll have to verify that. Maybe we'll verify that at the end of the quarter. But very, very interesting. But, hey, these guys officiating right now, how often do they get to call a flopping foul in any of the other games that
I hear you. Well, Jay Williams for the Royals, number one there, after that ref shared with them, it's great. He shared his appreciation for an explanation and not just being a call and a walk away. There's definitely a level of respect in everybody in this building realizing everyone's trying to become the best version of themselves, and there's no point in creating any disrespect in it. No, I'm not saying that doesn't happen at times, but that was a great showcase right there.
It certainly does. Ooh, almost went backcourt. Exceptional pass right there.
Not only is that guy a gentleman, but he's got some wheels on him.
A little bit.
Oh, they ISO'd him out. I apologize. I don't see the gentleman here. Number 3, McHale was guarding him, and they might just isolate him again. Nice shot. Damari Butler for 3. Oh.
No finish there, but
Got 2 guys getting back late for the Serpents. It doesn't look really good with the energy that the Royals have been producing. Oh, a lot of blue around that basket.
they definitely came with a vision to crash the boards today. What'd I do?
Well, there's a call down on this end, and I'm familiar with this. There's a big man for the Serpents, and he's posting up. And one of the guys from the Royals is doing a phenomenal job. Energy, he's taking care of the assignment, but it just gets to a point where it's a little awkward. They've got to call it because whether he's inhibiting his ability to move around, he's so underneath him that he can't allow that player to move, and so the ref called the foul. I tell you this, though, it sends a message.
Ah. I do like that. They're letting them play today, though, Pat. And I think that's hard to get used to, but you got to really let them play, let the game go, be energetic. Everything's not a foul. That's a tough bucket. What a tough bucket by Cyrus Barnes. I'll tell you what, Pat, over the years I've enjoyed watching Cyrus. He's not little, but he's not the biggest guy, obviously, but he has a heart of a lion. He comes up with big buckets. Every game I've seen him play, big bucket. Big bucket Cyrus.
Foul called on number 11, Markel Williams. Cyrus Barnes at the line shooting 1 free throw. Isaiah Moody at the line shooting 1 free throw.
10 minutes remaining in the second quarter here. We've got a score of 14-30. Polk County Royals up by 16.
Oh, I love it. Get it out of here. Get it out of here. The Royals continue to produce. Timothy Williams right there. Big block, showing his athleticism, running the floor. And I tell you what, if I'm playing with you, you better reward me for running the floor. And that's exactly what they did. He went down, they give him the ball, and he draws the foul, and he's going to the line.
And, you know, that's the rule as a coach of Youth Basketball Academy as well. One of the things I say continuously to my guards that I'm teaching, you have to reward your big fellas for running the floor. Yeah.
You know, if you get to halftime and your big fellas got their head down, someone probably didn't reward them.
Free throw is good.
You know, Mark, as we're nearing the end of this first half, I think we've got a small grasp on the Royals' energy, what they're looking to do defensively. What do you think right now the Serpents are doing? Coach Jean-Pierre is, of course, talking and communicating with his team, but you know what? The one thing I recognize, they're composed. They're not yelling at each other. Like, this is a professional team. They're not sitting there like the wheels on the bus aren't falling off. They're sitting there and they're trying to figure it out. What do you think we're going to see out of them?
Well, I think the biggest component right there is if you go to a championship in the year prior, there's a composure there, and you know, you have a little bit more confidence, so you stay composed. You're not getting erratic. I am a bit impressed right now. The score is a little bit in favor of the Royals, but they aren't losing their composure. I'd be panicking a little bit right now. It's a tough going in the second quarter. You got to start to close that gap on the lead there as you go into halftime. But
this is one of the things that happens as far as kind of a secondary emphasis after the primary. The primary is don't let the ball get in easily to the post. It drops in there, and a big number 22 there. Ball goes in. You see the Royals start to collapse on it, and they're sending a message. But then the ball kicks back out, right? And then you have ball handlers on the Serpents who are able to come down. And then, of course, the Royals have to respond, because if they show weakness in that, then they're going to know we're going to start getting the ball in, kicking it in, establishing the ownership of the defense, moving closer to our bigs, and then kicking back out for drives, and we're going to look to draw fouls. And if that's something that happens right now, you're probably going to see this in the second half as far as, like, how do we answer this call of getting the ball in the basket? Got a lot of players questioning that call. You know, sometimes it's just that perspective. You see it just from a certain angle, and it could or could not be. But anyways, we got to go with the respect of saying, okay, you know, the officials are here to put together a position of a fair game, and I do like the fact that they just had a little bit of good energy about it. Like, woo, nothing negative. Oh, here it is. Okay, hey, I think that's pretty good ratio of a success down there. That's the one that got through down the post. Blocking call there. Hey, there's an art to taking charges. And it's not just sacrifice. Of course, it's understanding the position of your feet, you know, like how you give up your whole body. And just one little thing inside of there, and it's like, nope, that's going to be a charge. And when it happens, it's not a good feeling. Yeah. All right, let's go through a little question of trends here. What do you notice trending with the Serpents as far as their offensive game? Do you think, as I look at tonight, or sorry, not tonight, but today in this game, it seems both teams have not shot the ball very well from three. And do you think that could be a little bit of the jitters there, getting it going again? It's so early in the season, or is it, you know, the size of the arena combination?
I know that it's a bigger court. It feels good. It's experience. You're in the home of Asa and Magic, where, you know, essentially this is probably a good next step for several players. But as somebody who made that jump, I remember my first.
We've got a timeout called on the play with 7:13 left to go in the first half. Your score, The Polk County Royals 33, Volusia County Serpents 19.
I remember my first 12-speed bicycle. That's a lot of gears. There's a lot of cranking of gears and stuff on hills and uphills and downhills. I didn't know what I was doing. I get it. So, yeah. I mean, it's an absolutely beautiful facility. If you're watching, for our audience, you see the big Osceola Magic logo there in the center court. The Magic's G League team plays here, and like Mark shared, like this could potentially, be the next step for these young men, as many of the Magic are actually coming through here, coaches and players. There is still a lot of traffic that moves through here. A couple weeks ago, I had the opportunity to do one of the broadcasts for the Osceola Magic. And Matt carries a lot of leadership responsibility. And it's not just that team, but a guy who's been scratching at that next level is also put in high regard at the level that he's at, because they know that what he has he can get to that next level. So a lot of his teammates put a lot of confidence in him, which could probably be something that he takes out. And at times, it tells him to take shots at certain times. It tells him to make a lot of choices, but he does it really well. And for him to go from this arena to national television 2 years in a row with the NBA dunk contest and be very comfortable, it's exciting to see that young man and what he's doing. And again, this is some of the steps that many of these guys now and in the future can take with a league like this.
For sure, and great composure from him. Every time he speaks, he's on interviews, he's just well spoken. I think he's a classy guy. He's a great find. I see him having a great future, with the Magic and being a great ambassador down the line. So, how about you, Pat? You played a couple of years in the NBA, of course, with the Orlando Magic and the Phoenix Suns. Didn't have a regular college, get drafted to the NBA, play 10 years. Tell us about that experience. What?
It was a big boo-hoo moment. Boo-hoo. Like, I got to find another place to do this. I'm not the classic story line that most of my other college opponents had. But yeah, I was fortunate enough my junior year in college at Auburn that I did have scouts coming to look. So there was kind of a hint of a next level surge. I didn't dare to dream, I'd tell you that much. I kept working as hard as I could. And, I went undrafted, and I had an opportunity to go play in Spain. And what an experience. Looking back, a lot of growth, a lot of transformation. I was a little newborn baby. Didn't understand the idea of professional business basketball. And I also didn't understand what it was like to be in another country with a totally different culture and language. And a different style of basketball. Many people don't realize, like, even where we're at now, if we're in the FBA playing, or we're in another league somewhere else in another state or even in another country of the world, there is little nuances of difference, whether it's more aggressive, less aggressive, the way the refs make calls, with the way they rely on speed, tempo of the game. And one of the things I recognized was that the European game was completely slower and more tactical in its coaching. As far as 5 guys looking for one shot and 5 guys working their tail off on defense. And over time, just more and more opportunities and more growth created the ability to make it to the NBA finally. That first call out 02-03 with the Magic.
When you get that call, like, take us through that moment. You get the call, go through a training camp, you make the grade, and you get to take this floor for the first time. What's that feel like?
Well, I think I'd answer it this way. First of all, the call again is not to insult what you're sharing, but I don't want to put it like there was a call, like there was a physical or literally somebody called me and said, "Hey, it's time." It was more of there's conversations going on again, like that Mac McCall, that you're at the cusp of something and you're about to break through. And the call for me, in its physicality of someone calling me, was more, "Hey, we got a tryout opportunity for you," you know. And I laced them up in the Orlando Magic practice facility, better known as the RDV Sports Complex. And I stepped out into a court where Grant Hill, Tracy McGrady, Sean Kemp, Pat Garrity, Mike Miller just had my jaw dropped.
Wow.
And I think I went back down, sat down for a second, and retied my shoes again. But over time, the work was there. Like any one of these guys, if they said, "What's your go-to moves?" they're going to say, ball handling and, playing certain positions and roles. Or, some guys are shooters, some guys are really good at rebounding. I knew what I could do, and what I started to get confirmation was from my peers. I remember Grant Hill coming up to me after the first time he played, and he was like, "Who are you, and where'd you just come from?" And I think the point he was making was, my appearance was I had shaved my head, so I was completely bald, and he thought I was a foreigner. But I impressed him with a soft jump shot and ability to understand the game. And what he was really telling me was, "You belong here."
Nice.
And that was a great feeling.
And of course, Grant Hill, one of the quintessential players that touched the NBA floor. How about by injury, mid to late, really, to some degree, disappointing that it happened, but very admirable for him to see him play 18 to 20 years still, get over the ankle injury, and still make a difference in Phoenix, another team that you played for. And but the work's, it's mathematical, right? It's a mathematical equation.
It's a whole lot. Sometimes it's best to not even try to put it together in a formula because there's just so much. But there's so many components, like you said, like there are people watching, there's the places that you are, there's the work that you're doing, there's the connection and network that you're around, there's even the environment. Are you in an environment that's producing positive opportunities to transform, to motivate you? Or are you in a place that's continually telling you or reminding you that you're not worth it? And that's why I say there's a lot to it. And inside it, there's a journey. So as we pause on this, we're looking out at the court, and one of the Serpent players is down.
I know exactly what that's about. If the coach takes the
I can
floor.
translate that. So it looks like our last year's MVP, Suarez, was down for a second. Maybe he just shook a little bit because Steve Austin, the $1 Million Man, used to do a little check on himself. So did He-Man. Got to check. You got to sit there for a second and just really contemplate and think about, hey, how are my physical arms, my legs? Am I shook up? And this guy's the MVP. Like he knows what's on the line here. He's probably hungry for another year like last year.
And politely asking his coach to not take the floor, because if he does,
yeah, I don't think
has
I
to
ever
come
heard
up.
He-Man or the $6 Million Man talk to any of their co-stars like that when they were doing their systems check. Too many steps there. Not a huge difference in the roster height, but there's a few taller players on the Serpent team. So, talking with Coach Howard, he did share that the emphasis is guard play. They work on their speed, so it is exceptional when you do see the ball getting low. You see a guard posting up to make moves, but right there it just did not work in their favor.
And as the guards play again, oh! Bobbles the ball. Great
Almost
outlet.
too good to be true. You're so open, your systems start to go down. Like, oh, just another opportunity to take the ball and dunk it like I'm in an empty gym, and just it happens. Nice play. Nice play. Confident move there by Cyrus Barnes. That's a bucket. Ooh. Looks like there's something in the air. Travel is the call, and a lot of steps have been taken.
Number 7, Kevin Beans Jr. checks back in for the Serpents.
Nice step through from Cyrus Barnes again. Couldn't get it to go. Now that's Suarez. I'm going to count it as. Woo!
I tell you, Mark, I like the way the Serpents have responded. If you go all the way back to Cyrus Barnes' post up, there's a new emphasis saying, hey, we do not want to let them get the ball easy inside. And they've done that. And you can see that they're crowding that lane a little bit more. Getting a little tired. You see that as the Serpents were trying to make that shot there was only one person left under the basket, the shooter, to get their rebound, and everybody else was waiting at half court.
And, and that's a big thing, too, with this level. A lot of guys don't understand the conditioning that goes into this. And it's really one of the things that causes people to not make it to that next level. You've got to be in stellar shape. You can't sit on the phone watching Instagram. You got to be a professional. To get to the next level, you really got to put in a lot of work and be in stellar shape.
I go back to what my grandpappy used to tell me. You don't got to do anything. Because the person in charge doesn't have to put you in if you don't do it. And the idea is if you have a goal, it's not so much you've got to do it, it's you have a desire to do it, right? So you're figuring out what are these things that I need to fill in to become that next level player. So you recognize that the idea that you got to do these things are, well, if you look at them, you got to do them. Then I wonder sometimes if that's the position someone really wants to be in, how long they're going to be at the top when they get there.
Yeah, you have to be driven by passion, that's for sure.
The lost art of the mid-range pull-up.
Side left.
Mr. Mickle there. Nice little two-dribble. Wide open, off the glass, but just goes a little bit long and strong there.
As Beyonce would say, to the left, to the left. I won't sing.
There's your former last year's MVP. Draining a three with confidence.
He's going to heat up. He's going to bring 20 to 30 to the game. That's what MVPs do, right, Pat? Yep, buddy.
Foul called on number 24, Roberto Suarez.
37 seconds left to close out this second quarter before halftime. We got 34 to 42. Royals up by 8. With Royals at the line, shooting 2. Timothy Williams, number 12. One more left. Hoping to extend this to double digits.
Mr. Timothy Williams, he has a long extension on that release, but it's soft.
Good finish. 8-point game, winding down the second quarter. Royals going to hold for one, it looks like. Oof.
Tell you what. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's tough.
That is tough.
Well, we'll watch it
I'll tell you
here.
what, though, I really appreciate watching Isaiah Moody there. His, not only the court vision, but his clock management. He looked over there at halfway and just checked the clock before he knew it to make his move. He goes in and allows just that opportunity not to take it too early.
With your score in the Polk County Royals, 44.
If you look back
What
at
do
the
you see as you
replay,
look back at replay?
it looks like the ball is above the cylinder.
Well, I'll tell you what, they wouldn't have to worry about me getting up there at this stage. But the Royals have got some high flyers over there that look like 2 or 3 guys had their hands on it.
Wow. And that's the finish of the second quarter. We got 36 to 44 in favor of the Polk County Royals. We're going to take a quick break as we rest for halftime. Come back in about 5 minutes. If you're watching, thanks for watching. Mark King on the call with NBA phenom Pat Burke. We'll be right back.
test.
I'm just saying, I think you're getting Cyrus and Moody confused. 88-42? Yeah. They both have the long dreads, so. I just told him I was getting the stuff. That's all I do. Well, the refs are even saying 42 doesn't have full time. And then the one said
Count that three-pointer. A possible questionable call on that one, but not. But let's see. It looks like Joe Stubbs sprained his ankle on that one.
Three-pointer good by Joe Stubbs.
You can say this about these games, Mark. Emotions do get up because it's a lot for these guys to go into. The coaches, they're training all week and they're putting a lot into this. So anytime that something's going against them, it's very easy for them to call out.
Sure. Well, there's a lot of passion here. This is a big step, a big spot for them, right? This is all they have. So they go hard.
Bang, bang.
Bang, bang.
Bang, bang. Here we go for the second half. The Royals bang, banging it again. It's a rebound. So I was listening in during that half to Coach Darius Howard talking about what his concerns were, and the guys have done an exceptional job. What he requested at the beginning to take care of that post up and the defensive end, and he just shared that once we let up on that's something that can't happen. And the emphasis now is he's going to keep in some of the starters and make sure that we keep a tight focus on what they're looking to do. And he really wished that most of the people would get an opportunity here. But when you have to go back to your starters, that means maybe there's a little drop off there and one or two things, and maybe that means to send a message.
Looks like Moody got away with a little bit of a carry there. And a shot clock violation.
That's the first shot clock. Is that the first shot clock?
I think so.
In the game?
Yeah, I think that was the first one.
Too fast scoring trigger teams here.
Too fast, too furious.
On the other end, talking to Coach Jean-Pierre, he was wanting the guys to get the MVP from last year, Suarez, up a little bit more. And that takes a mindset. I asked him, is it the guys setting ineffective screens, or is it they're just not thinking? Is it, well, he's not getting guys thinking about getting him open.
Mark,
if you and I were playing together, you're a shooter, and I feel like a shooter. Who would be the priority to get who open?
Well,
I think I'm the big ogre guy that have to set your screens up.
I would need that. Yeah.
You think about number one is getting Mark open, and you're the number two if it happens.
Well, I'll tell you what, we're older in age, I think, Pat, but if you're setting a screen, I think I should at least get the shot off.
Yeah,
I don't know what happened after that.
Either one of us, if I roll it, I don't think we're going to get open or so. But it was good. It was good talking to those two coaches and figuring out, what were they concerned about. And another thing about Coach Jean-Pierre, the thing that he was really happy with was their composure. How they kept going. Like he would like to keep the intensity getting a little bit more. But guys need that. Players don't just need a bunch of corrections. They need to know the sun's going right. And it better not be our uniforms look good. So we got green in for St. Patrick's Day weekend.
The Serpents, no problem with that, with one of their staple colors being green. But, ooh.
And the St. Patrick, the patron saint of Ireland, they got rid of all the snakes.
Tyree Steele off the glass for 2 points.
Bank is open for the Royals. It is not 2K. I'll tell you, they said that's what they want from Suarez, but I don't know that that's what they want. He's going to hit those shots.
There's something to be said, though, when we recognize that A little while ago, we did have the first horn for the Shotgun. So
Yeah.
these are two very fast trigger teams. I was fortunate that I got to play with Steve Nash with the Phoenix Suns and a star-studded crowd. Maury Stoudemire was an Orlando product,
Sure.
and guys like Sean Marion. But they played under Mike D'Antoni's 7 seconds or less. And the idea was that when we went on offense, Steve Nash was a very talented point guard who no more than 2 dribbles before he made that long pass for a dunk, a layup, or a quick shot. And what I'm seeing here now is a lot of these guys are used to that speed. And whether it puts a lot of points on the board goes to how effective they are as shooters and their field goal percentages. But the style still is a very fast-paced.
Yeah, it's fast-paced, but if you look at the score, we got 50 to 36. So
That goes back to their efficiency.
yeah, sometimes fast is.
Those Phoenix Suns games, we got to about 115 points, 125 maybe. But again, it's these guys are, the speed is there and the tempo is there, of course. But again, the efficiency. Are they getting the exact shot they want, and are they making?
Sure. And Pat, Steve Nash, one of the players I absolutely looked up to. Definitely want to take the opportunity to ask, what's it like playing with a guy like Steve Nash?
I don't get that question a whole lot. I know that Steve gets a lot of that question about what's it like to play with Pat Burke.
I'm sure, if Steve was sitting next to me, as sure as I'm standing here, I would ask him, what's it like to play with Pat Burke? And I know.
It would be an hour filled of exaggeration of the big fish story. My vertical jump, my athletic prowess, just my things I used to do in the weight room, strength. No, playing with Steve was amazing. Of course, when you're around exceptional athletes, exceptional individuals that are driven, and you have a contrast of saying, well, how does that look against what I'm doing and getting here? And one of the things is I used to pride myself in getting to practice early, and I'd hear the ball bouncing in the court before I ever got there. I'd be like, wow, I'm sitting here an hour and a half before the practice sessions, taking care of my bodies and the other. But Steve was already down there, and he already had like a hired trainer who was going through stuff. And I was like, this is amazing.
Enrique Bush Jr. for 2 points.
$50 to 38. Polk County still controlling the game.
Cyrus Clarence.
Coach Howard for the Royals calling a timeout here. Recognized a questionable call down the lane. You can't say whether from the viewpoint or vantage point they couldn't see it, but definitely noticed that Isaiah Moody's offhand is being pulled back behind him with a kid at recess as he's going in for the layup with no call. So there's going to be some exceptional. Can we get a boom mic down there?
Well, let me just tap into our billionaire sponsorship money and
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome
it
to
happen.
Fight Night.
Let's get ready to rumble.
Do you know that point when you were a kid, you'd be on a road trip, and a sibling or a friend, like the first fart hits the car, and it's kind of a laughing moment. But by the time it gets to like your 2 states, you're 8 hours, 10 hours into it, you're ready to go after it. And you can't go back because in the beginning of this game, everything was very cordial. Hey, how you doing? Good to meet you. Yeah. Oh, what's the call on that one? Oh, that's the explanation. Now I don't even want to hear it. And we're at the beginning of the season, my man.
I know. Isn't it interesting though, Pat, how eagle-eyed we all are on the things that need to go our way, and the things that we get away with, we don't want to talk about those things.
I know exactly what you're sharing. It is very interesting.
And I think it's both sides, obviously, too. I think it's just something that happens in basketball, but there's a whole lot of.
Do you think James Naismith, when he put those peach baskets up in that little room in Canada with those girls, that he recognized how much of an avalanche was going to occur on different scales?
I would love to talk to James Naismith. You know, they
I
always.
know the guy who invented tiddlywinks, like he didn't never thought that people were going to, because they don't argue with that. For this is it's just a made-up game with a couple of rules.
Well,
And
it's
everybody
certainly
wants to fight their opinion on.
a very strong, strong movement with this basketball thing from what Naismith probably envisioned. Quite different. But shout out to Naismith for creating a game that we all love dearly, right? Think of the sacrifices that have been put into this game, even from yourself only.
I'm telling you, look, do you know what it's like to have played as long as I have since '92 in college? Do you know how many St. Patrick's Days I've had to miss because I was training?
I am probably 30. How long did you play?
It's more emotional weight at this point than it is actually the counting the exact.
What an extension. Great extension from Enrique Bush. Couldn't get it to fall, but.
Kevin Beans, number 7, did an exceptional job there on defense. Did you see that?
Good closing out.
Those blue jerseys, you got to get a body on them.
They're
Those are
active.
some nice uniforms. They pop. You gotta, they're not hard to find. They're right there.
They're quite bright.
The game is getting really physical. You can see that climate change there. Isaiah Moody for the Royals, his confidence is just out the roof. And he's done a great job, like I said, time management. He just came across half court. And the Serpent defenders are just sitting there, just hands all over him. The refs really have got to make some adjustments in what they're doing right now so this doesn't escalate.
Yeah. You know, and actually, Pat, that's something we often talk about. Commissioner Greg Kite, myself, Proactive Officiating, our referee assigner company, understanding that we have, there's a lot to officiating that is missed. You're really controlling a game. You can let things get out of hand.
Oh, yeah.
They've definitely let them play hard, but it is getting a bit chippy.
It's a nice move. Is that the one that gets him going? When do we break the gate? Sharing that he can pour buckets in there. We know him to do so. It seems today is just it's been a slow start. If it's gonna.
With the floater. Foul called on number 20, Tyrese Seals.
was an easy call.
Easy. Right in front of the official.
Enrique Bush just create a straight line there. Just one consistent line with one speed. And he was able to just push that foul into existence.
That's a big shot.
Cyrus Barnes is a bucket. This is his game right here. You get that big court going right there, and he's going to find people, or he's going to find his way to that basket.
And that's an incredible run put together by the Polk County Royals. Looking at 60 to 40, 20-point mark. We have 5 minutes in the third quarter. Whew. What a game.
What a game. The last possession there for the Serpents, there's 2 kickouts, right? Suarez is playing an unselfish space. He's sitting there going, okay, maybe it's not falling in line, he's just moving it. And finally the ball's shot, they miss it, they kick it back to him, and then he takes his opportunity. He says, you know what, I got to take a shot, and he still is not successful. So for a young player coming off that special year last year, this is probably not going the way he thought it was going to go in the when he's tying up his shoes.
Well, it's the old adage, you become the MVP of something. You put an X on your back. They're going to come at you. It's not going to be the easy road in your rookie year that you had last year.
So once you accomplish something, you've got an X on your target.
Absolutely.
Gotcha.
Absolutely.
Silver Spurs Arena, the Osceola Magic G League home venue, and today it is playing nice with the Royals, who have come out here and put their energy in like this is their home. Do you think this is the same court that they had in Lakeland?
That's a good question. I don't know. That would be quite a trip.
I tell you, when I look at the 2 coaches' styles and their leadership, and this is just from an audio point of view. I'm not saying it's effective because the score could be totally something else, but Coach Jean-Pierre seems to be a very quiet, soft-spoken coach, and Coach Howard is vocal. And what I recognize inside that is it's extended to the players. The Serpent team is very soft-spoken if they say anything, whether on defense, calling out picks or how to play or defense. But if you see the Royal team, they're communicating everything.
Definitely a very big difference in vocal expression. So.
Foul called on number 11.
To add to that too, Mark, I'll tell you what, The Royals remind me they're a team of little victories, where every time they do something, they're applauding it. The affirmation of this is what we do, it keeps going, and that's what's generated this momentum.
One first on the left. Yeah.
Is that automatically 2 free throws?
Oh wait. That's not. Sorry.
Jay Williams at the line shooting 2 free throws.
Sorry, 3 on 11.
Number 4, Sherman Cox checks in for the Royals. Free throw is good.
Sounds like the Royals have something they've been working on, because Sherman has just come into game number 4. Coach is sharing that everyone know what he does. So we're going to find out whether it's setting screens or posting up or, I don't know, doing cartwheels.
Foul called on number 1, Jay Williams. James Lindsay Jr. at the line shooting 2 free throws. Free throw is good. Free throw is good.
Some new faces being rotated in now.
When you're up 20, you get an opportunity for the guys at the end of the bench to get some tick.
Kind of an awkward move there to the basket. It still counted just the 2 steps, even though there was a little bit of a hip twist in the second one.
The advanced Euro.
Markel Williams at the line shooting 2 free throws.
Little extra effort on that shot. Free throw just going far left. I don't know if you even hit any rim.
To the left, to the left.
You can't argue that the Serpents haven't had a lot of free throw opportunities today. I haven't seen the box score, but I'm telling you, I think they've won that contest in the number taken.
It's a lot of fouls, a lot of erratical behavior now. Really stretching this game out.
What do you do in this case, Mark? So you're coaching the Serpents, and of course, this is one of those long races with a team because you're at the beginning of the season. So you still have the focus on competition, but you do have an opportunity to develop. So where do you see you, if you're Coach John Pierre right now, what are you looking to do as far as finishing this game?
I think that you got to go to what you did last year a little bit more. The way I look at it, Roberto Suarez he wasn't really a cognizant factor where we're trying to get the ball to him early, and he is the horse for them for sure. Obviously as an MVP, but I think you got to kind of reset and just figure out what kind of basketball you want to play. Get back to your what got you there last year, because you definitely see a difference in the Serpents today than what you saw all season in 2023.
And that in itself is the irony is in the minor league, in the FBA, it's not going to be the same thing. That's going to be the majority of it. Things can happen. So if you're a team like this, here's another question. You could foul out your bigs. You could foul out your point guards. Because again, as we see here, there's a lot of challenges on the calls and things. Right. But now that you've got this 20 minutes, is there that third string, or is there that fourth person that you need to give them some time, because they may have to fulfill an assignment later on in the season, and they need this opportunity to be out there?
Yeah, I mean, you definitely want to look at an opportunity to get some people some minutes that weren't looked at in the beginning. It's early, so you're trying to figure out who can play when the lights are on, and but who's going to rise up for the Serpents? Who's going to answer that call? Or is Jean Pierre going to give them that opportunity, or is he going to make it a lesson and let them starters ride the whole way out and see what it takes to what a loss to the Royals feels like?
Yeah. I'll add this too, because again, it's almost like the microcosm of this. As you look at the player developing, we're also looking at a club development. Earlier, when I was talking with the Royals and I talked to Amy Rhodes about what they're doing with the mission statement and the community side of things, I asked the same question over to Coach Jean Pierre. Where are you at? And it's something they're working and developing on. It sounds funny, but it's like even inside of that level, they're still taking these moments to take when they have free time to get out in the community and do things, and they're developing those things because they're going to see there's a bigger picture to this. I don't think it's going to be in the best interest of longevity if it's just an organization that's working on the competitive side of basketball.
Right.
Because then you become transactional. You become cutthroat. Guys tend to find out real quick, like, hey, if you're not producing, you're not in the conversation. And if you're not in the conversation, you're just sitting there on the edge. And that's where, of course, guys start fishing for other clubs and organizations and people like yourself. They sit there and they go, hey, Mark has a space where he's going to talk to you about what's he want from you and the development side of things. But, there is a focus on the competitive side of winning, because that is important.
Yeah.
But there is a side that says, that there are opportunities for that person who's not always in the light to have an opportunity.
Sure.
What's going on here? As I got long-winded there, just look over and
I don't know.
Back to another form of reality television. Sounds like the ref was going over a hard foul, and the selection process of a free throw player. The FBA keeping up with guidelines on safety and health. The referees are vetted in understanding that if there's any blood that takes place inside the person's uniform, the opposing coaches have the opportunity to pick the player from the bench to be the selected free throw shooter for the foul. Nice block shot there by Cyrus Barnes. If you can hear this through the microphone, it's Darius Howard sharing the definition of discipline. And you see this with a lot of players is if you're moving consistently at a consistent rate, meaning if you're getting back every time and you're getting back full speed, good things will happen. That's what you see there from Cyrus Barnes. Is he didn't give up on the play and came up with a big block.
Offensive foul called on number 4, Sherman Cox. Williams for 2 points.
I think that shot clock is a sign that, of course, the Serpents are off their tempo as far as the normal way they shoot, and that has a lot to do with, of course, what the Royals have done in their game plan. Because you're seeing even our last year's MVP, taking some time as far as shot selection and not just getting to the basket. Now we are late in the game, but you are definitely seeing things wear on. And the Royals again.
Polk County Royals 65.
Finish one strong.
Volusia County Serpents 47.
There's too many fouls, man.
The Volusia County Serpents Sports Group Medical Coverage is brought to you by leadership of Dr. Benjamin Thompson, a board-certified orthopedic surgeon, focused on sports medicine, joint replacement, and general orthopedics. They have offices conveniently located in Oviedo and DeLand.
Great execution on that play right there. You see that baseline of play. Just the ball did not drop.
Foul called on number 2, Nicholas McCallie. Free throws good.
Jay Williams having that shot fall short. Much needed break there for both teams. We'll see that, again, as these games are wearing on in the beginning, these players are definitely getting tired, and the coaches are having their opportunity to regroup and to refocus. As we look at the Royals, I think it's all systems go. Maintain that energy, getting some new players in, looking to develop, and keeping a hold on being consistent. And down here at the other end for the Serpents, Coach Jean-Pierre, it looks like he's confidently sharing that things are going well. It's just that the shots aren't dropping. So it's not much you can do for your team when that goes on. But they do have to consistently, still do the effort things, getting down the floor, making sure that they're boxing out, controlling the boards.
Should be 4:30. Just go, and I'm gonna figure it out. Do you have something coming that you have to?
I'm pushing my weight around a little bit. I told him that he's raised $13,000 for it. Nice way to keep him over there. What happened with the start?
Did they not have it set up?
They didn't have power. We couldn't start up until
Well, then they gotta give us the extra time.
that's what I said. We just gotta play it. We just gotta keep playing.
As we're wrapping up, Pat, we're fourth quarter. A lot of whistles, a lot of stuff. One of the luxuries about being in the Silver Spurs arena is playing before the Osceola Magic, but there's some time constraints, and there's things that have happened when the first time playing here with setup that delayed us from starting our game. So we're hoping we can extend this and push into the Osceola Magic's time because we're running a little over. But
That's wishful thinking.
it is wishful thinking. We're just going to play until they kick us out, I guess.
These two teams have battled today, and you can tell that it's wearing on both teams. There's just little mistakes of effort, whether extra steps, traveling, not take care of the ball, steals. You're recognizing that this is going to be a good season, and the competitive nature is there. These guys came in and they wanted to play, and they wanted to compete. If I got to wrap up anything about both teams, I would share with you, Mark, that the Royals, very high energy team.
Yeah.
They're the bully in the bunch right now. I've only seen the first two teams now, but this is the bully in the bunch. They're going to keep talking. They're going to be high energy. They're going to get those dunks in, and they're going to keep elevating their game as much as they can. Whether or not they're making their passes, they're going to keep going.
Yeah, for sure.
On the other side, this is one where I don't know if it's so much as the Serpents can say they're taking this one on the chin as the ball just didn't drop. There's a lot of good going on over there, but Coach John Pierre, is their execution is going on. They've got the returning MVP. He didn't shoot the ball well. Maybe there's maybe a reset in understanding some of the early concepts of how to set screens inside of their offense, some of the first situations, and then they can start reading others. But you can definitely tell that that was a concern today.
Yeah.
They did get to the free throw line. They did get to the free throw line, but it just wasn't enough to pull this one off.
Yeah. Well, the good news is it's game one. It's a season. We got plenty of time to reboot. Look at the film. Another thing we like to do here. A lot of our teams spend a lot of time looking at film, figuring out what the wrong things are, what the right things are, and reboot for the next game.
Someone told me a long time ago that when you're doing that, you got to realize this game is not about perfection. It's about progression.
Yeah.
Gauge where you're at and figure out what are the steps to improve and get better. I've been lucky to be a part of a lot of teams where Right out the gate, some of us we went on for 10 straight wins. And then something hit. And some of them it's the other way. It's not 10 straight losses, but it's ups and downs and not being able to figure out. And then finally something clicks.
Yeah.
That's the great thing about the game of basketball and sports. Is it allows you to gain some self-reflection, who you are and who you are collectively as a group. But this is where they start to make a name for themselves. And at the end of this day, the box score will start to show their numbers.
Yeah.
What are they doing with the boards? What are they doing with turnovers? How does that compare to other teams? And that's interesting. You do get to finally see two teams on paper. But today was a day where we didn't have that luxury. We got to say, okay, let's just see what happens.
Lord have mercy. Looks like we have a take foul. Is that what's going on? Clear path. I don't know. We got about 7 minutes left, Pat, in the fourth quarter here. Score 70-56. Serpents just haven't been able to close this gap much at all this day. Polk County is definitely a celebratory. Polk County is definitely a celebratory type of team. They really get into their basketball.
A lot of good athletes out of Polk County.
Hi, how are you? Good to see you. Well, that's fun. I just learned that the coach of the new Daytona Beach Bandits actually also works for the Asshole Magic. How cool is that?
So this game is wrapping up, Mark, and I think we've appreciated our audience. We've shared with them what's going on, a little coaching insight on both sides, and we're talking about this as the launch to the 2024 season. What are some of the things, if we step away from court, what are some of the things that you have planned for the future?
Well, we have a lot planned. It's obviously a very large vision. Ultimately, what we're trying to accomplish this year is to have a season where we have excellent, really up-to-date stats that are almost live. We definitely want to keep the competitiveness. We only have 5 FBA teams, but you can see the quality of the players and the groups, even the second string and third string guys. A lot of talent because, you know, with less places to play, you've got more opportunities to shine, and the demand is higher, which is one of the things that drove the junior FBA. But ultimately, we want to really create an empire of basketball that really puts Florida, at least Central Florida for sure, on the map. Keep having quality play, keep giving guys opportunities. The Florida Flight is going to be going to the Bahamas in May for a $10,000 tournament.
You're the broadcast team?
I am hoping to bring a broadcast team, Pat. We'll have to bring you along for that, huh? But definitely also talking to my contacts in China to do another tour. The Florida Flight went to China in 2019 for 3 weeks. We went to the Jump 10 tournament shortly after that. We brought some of the players from other teams. You know, we have a motto here, Pat. We're competitors on the court, business partners off the court. And it gets intense. We go at each other's necks during the games, as you can see. But we understand that it's the collective and how we move together that's going to drive what we do.
Let me ask you this: for some of our audience that doesn't know, I've had the privilege of knowing you for a while, and probably the shocking numbers that I hear, these metrics of growth. where were you 5 years ago with youth teams and age groups to where you're at today?
Well, 5 years ago, we just started, I think, 2017, 2018. We started with maybe 5 or 7 10-year-olds.
Five
And
or, wait,
five to
five or seven.
5 to 7,
Not 10, 5 or 7 years, dude.
5, or probably 7 players to start.
That's a lonely gym.
It was. But, today we have 4 practices a week. We're at approaching the over the 50 player mark, adding a skills and drill session, looking at possibly having 20 to 30 more. But a privilege to coach those kids. And not only just the flight, but the Serpents obviously have a Volusia Vipers Youth Academy. The Winter Park Storms, my understanding, is creating something as well. So what we really want to do overall is kind of mimic that European system where players can play from a very young age, be around pro basketball, playing competitively against, some high-level talent. Obviously, we have to be careful with the college eligibility and what they do. They can't be pros with us, but something that Europe doesn't have as much of a problem dealing with because they don't have the NBA and the NCAA over there like we do. But, ultimately, the division's big, and we like where we're at. The growth is good. It's stable. 12th season for the FBA, 14th for the flight. Those are numbers that aren't easy to accomplish. And there's a consistency that you show when you do stuff like that. And respect you and respect what you're doing, the business partners, and across the board. I'm proud. I'm very proud of. It's tiresome, Pat. Though I would tell you, it's a love and hate. It's tiresome. I'd love to, but I've got 3 daughters to get to, and I'm going to try to attend this Osceola game tonight. But then we have the game tomorrow, another Osceola game tomorrow night, and then the Kia Center. It's going to be a long weekend for me, Pat. But I'll tell you, seeing our players playing world-class venues like this, that's something to be proud of for sure. Yeah, I don't think that's a stop. The
Hey, G, just go ahead and stop it when you need to. Don't run it. Just stop it when you need to. We got 5 minutes. We'll be okay.
Well, Pat, it looks like the time is running out on the Serpents.
First game in the books, a learning lesson for both teams as they continue on. I'm sure so do new conversations of practice and training. So I wish the best for the two of these teams. The coaches, I think, put together solid strategies. There's a lot of good takeaways here.
Yeah, for sure.
Again, it's one of those that got away too early, and maybe something will happen next time.
Yeah. Lots to learn, lots to take in, lots more games left to play. It'll be interesting seeing these two teams play each other again.
But for more FBA action tomorrow.
Absolutely. We're at 1:30 p.m. right back here at Silver Spurs Arena, Claremont Crocs versus the Winter Park Storm. And game 2. And then Sunday,
On Sunday, we're at the Keys.
the Florida Flight versus Volusia Serpents.
Quadruple the lights, quadruple the capacity. Same floor dimensions, same
Yeah.
height on the rim, same distance from the three-point line, same circumference on the ball, but we're in the big-time arena.
Big time. If we can't get them to the NBA, the best we can do is put them on that floor, huh?
That's not too bad. Well, it's been a pleasure. Again, as FBA is doing a great job of creating a great platform for these young athletes and the people around them to contribute and also have opportunities to excel into other areas. So let's continue that path.
Absolutely, Pat. We're appreciating you for being here. Obviously, we're on a time crunch here. This game is going to wind down, but we're going to go ahead and sign off now so that we can continue and get out of here on time and not have any issues. And we'll see you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.
Free throws good. Free throws good. 10 seconds. That's our final score here at Silver Spurs Arena. Our final score, the Polk County Royals 81, Volusia County Serpents 68. We'll be back here tomorrow at 1:30 p.m. for some more exciting FBA action. Join us tomorrow at 1:30 p.m. for the Winter Park Storm versus the Claremont Crocs. Thanks again for joining us today here.